Windows 8 disk space usage versus Windows 7. The official Microsoft Windows 8, 64-bit, disk space requirements are the same as Windows 7 20 GB. In actual practice, how does Win 8's disk space usage compare to Win 7's? Specifically, how does disk space usage compare after a clean install of each? I'm thinking the new Metro stuff must take additional space, but MS could have slimmed down the rest of Windows at the same time.
I have installed Windows 8 Enterprise Edition on a virtual machine. Within Windows 8, Explorer displays disk usage as 10 GB, but the virtual hard disk is in reality 8.22 GB.
In my experience, Windows 8 is comparable in size to Windows 7. After doing an upgrade of Windows 7 Ultimate, Windows.old was 21 GB. After installing some Windows updates on Windows 8 Pro, C:\Windows is 19 GB. 2 months later of regular everyday usage, it has grown to 22.5 GB. I think the main culprit is WinSys. That 22.5 GB doesn't include Metro-style apps, C:\program files \Windows apps.
After installing Windows 8 Enterprise on VMbox, 11 GB Explorer. I remember that after installing Windows 7 it was much less space, around 7 GB.
The test. To try and make a fair comparison, I went for Windows 7 Ultimate SP1 versus Windows 8 Enterprise. Both editions were 64-bit. These are the most full-featured editions of the respective operating systems available, so could be considered as a worst-case scenario. SP1 was already slipstreamed into the Windows 7 Ultimate ISO, as supplied by Microsoft via TechNet. The test consisted of 2 identically specified virtual machines running on Hyper-V, 1024 MB of RAM was specified, and no network adapter was connected, to avoid auto-activation or any automatic updates. The systems were each installed onto newly created VHDS, the default options were chosen, and the first user account was created by setup, named Fred, both times if you're interested. As soon as it reached the desktop, the system was immediately shut down. The results. The VHDs were mounted as read-only into my main OS, and the properties for each were brought up. Windows 7 Ultimate SP1. Windows 8 Enterprise. The conclusion. Windows 8 Enterprise takes 3.38% more space than Windows 7 Ultimate SP1. Other interesting points to note. On a blank hard disk, Windows 7 will create a system reserve partition of 100 MB, whereas Windows 8 will make it 350 MB. WinDirstat from the host computer onto the mounted VHDs gives the following output: drive F is Windows 7, H is Windows 8. WinDirstat run on the Windows 7 VM gives WinDirstat run on the Windows 8 VM gives
If you want to support the channel, please consider liking and subscribing.